What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of We Everywhere, baby. I am your host, Oh Marvelous, and with me and you and all of us together is Penny, the dog.
Licking her chops. They can't hear her.
She's saying nothing. But of course...
She's awake now. She's not snoring.
All right.
Just get to my intro. I'm waiting.
The co-host with the mo-host, Nadia Moham.
Chickamona. Oh, yeah. What's up?
Smooth as ever. What is up, guys? What is up?
You know us.
You know us.
Smoother than a crocodile.
What?
I don't know. That was the bumpiest thing I could think of. Smoother than a gator skin.
But it's not then. It's as.
Yeah. As. Yeah. Sorry. Smooth as a gator.
There it is. We're going to fix it in post.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my goodness. We took a trip. How about we just go there?
Hey, guys, we took a trip. We finally took a trip. We boarded a plane.
We almost didn't
board a
get to
plane.
board some planes.
Yeah, man, what a fiasco that was.
So the last episode we talked about how we were avoiding delicious tortas because we were going to Cabo. So we finally the time came for us to go, and we had a hell of a time the night before just trying to get there.
Man. Well, it's because they canceled. So they canceled our flight. It was like we were leaving on a Friday. They canceled our flight Thursday. I don't know what time, 4:00, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
And mind you, I had been running all my errands that day. That was my day to get all my stuff done, get my spray tan. Cause you can't be rolling up to Cabo like pasty and white. Like
Yeah.
You got to come in tan. Like how dare I put a bathing suit on without my spray tan?
That shit is so bizarre to me. Is to just be like, hey, where are we going? Oh, to the beach. Oh, okay, cool. Let me get a spray tan right quick.
Yeah. Why not?
The fact that we can even have an argument about this is just ridiculous.
Well, you're not going to understand. All
That's
our lady
exactly
listeners will understand.
And their boyfriends and fiancés and partners, maybe they don't.
It takes a while to develop a tan. We don't got time for that.
But that's why you're going.
Yeah, so I'll get a real tan while I'm there.
So that when the fake tan washes off,
the real tan will be underneath, revealed. Exactly. You're following me. And we all know a little tan makes you look thinner. The real reason.
I don't know. I always got a shirt on. I'm always swimming in my shorts.
No.
In my jean shorts.
No, stop. Speaking of that, I always think about when I was a kid, my friend at the time, I think we were it was elementary school. My elementary school friend, she was like, my dad is so embarrassing when we go to swim parks. She was like, he would wear socks. Like he would wear he was like kind of a cholo.
Yeah.
And he would wear jean shorts and socks.
Yeah, you don't need to explain it to me.
So that
I'm familiar.
That is a wet sock is one of the most grotesque feelings ever. How could you live all day like that?
Because you gotta be a down ass fool.
That's the only reason.
That's the whole reason. See what you don't understand is you gotta be down. Those socks gotta be high.
So that they don't slip off.
If they're not tall, you're not down.
Yeah.
So,
Got it.
you know what I mean? They got to represent at
Got
the beach.
it.
You don't know who else is going to be at the beach.
That is so gross. Ugh. Just the thought of just walking around in wet socks all day makes my skin itch. But anyways, talk about a tangent. Where was I? Oh yeah.
We were talking about.
I was running all my errands,
Yeah.
right? And I had my packing to do, and I would be done. And our flight was going to be at like 6 a.m. So we were going to have to leave like hella early, like leave by 4 a.m. to head to the airport. Because we don't live that far, but leave by 4 a.m. So I had my plan all set up, and then our flight gets canceled. So we're like, shit. So I had my luggage somewhat packed, because the way that I am is like, I like to set aside all my clothes or start coming up with like looks or vibes for my vacations ahead of time, like weeks in advance. So that way I know, what do I have? What fits me? What goes with what? Like, do I need to buy something new? I'm prepared and I have enough time to order shit and it comes in on time. So I had that all set aside, but still needed to actually pack it and like sort through it. Right. So it was like halfway done. Man, this whole flight reschedule totally threw me off, because we were on the phones, I'm not kidding, till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to reschedule our flights, because it was one of those situations where we didn't know for sure exactly what was happening, but the rumor was that the storms on the East Coast had thrown off all of the flights, and therefore, pilots and the crew, they can only be in the air or flying for a certain amount of hours. Once they've capped out on those hours, they're required by law where they have to, go to a hotel, sleep, whatever. They can't keep flying. So that's probably one of the reasons why our flight got canceled, amongst many others.
Yeah, well, it was two different things that happened that sealed it for me as far as this is a scheduling issue.
Mm-hmm.
So the first flight, okay, I bought my ticket later because that's when I realized I was going to join you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I put myself on your flight.
Mm-hmm.
So that flight was at 7 a.m. on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They canceled that flight on Thursday and put us on another flight that actually leaves at 6 a.m.
No, you're doing the reverse. We got pushed back an hour, remember?
No.
What?
No, here's what happened.
Oh.
So now we're on a 6 a.m. flight.
Uh-huh.
So we're like, shit, we have to be at the airport even earlier, right? Because it's a 6 a.m. flight now, not a 7 a.m. flight.
Mm-hmm.
And then that flight, we get an email that says, your flight tomorrow at 6 a.m. has been delayed to 7. Like, it literally, that's what it said. That's when we knew it was a situation. How do you know that my flight tomorrow is already delayed?
Mm-hmm.
That's because there is a scheduling fuck up somewhere that now someone is not going to be there at 6 a.m. to fly this plane.
Mm-hmm. Planning on canceled.
Or a crew or whatever. So, and then, no, only the first one got canceled. Only the first one got canceled. The second flight, okay.
I'm so confused. This is not at all how I remember it, like at all.
This is exactly how it happens. Okay? Check it out. Check it out.
Omar.
I swear to God.
Whatever you say.
The second flight they put us on leaves at 6 a.m., but now we go to Phoenix. We do a connection in Phoenix, and then we go to Cabo.
No, because I'm going to interject. This is how
Obviously.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Our flight was supposed to be at 6 a.m. Okay. Then it got pushed. I'm sorry. Then it got canceled. Then they rescheduled us to a 7 a.m. flight with a connection.
That's a 6 a.m. flight.
Because remember, we got pushed back an hour. We're like, oh, yay, we get to sleep in one more hour.
To 7.
But
because the original flight was at 6.
That's what I just said.
No, we're saying different shit.
Whatever. It doesn't even matter the logistics. Yeah. All I know is that when it got rescheduled, we were like, cool, we get to sleep one more hour. Then we realized, shit, we're not going to make our connecting flight. Because the original flight was a straight shot. Right?
Oh, yeah. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So the timing doesn't really matter. I guess. now that we've gone through all that shit and put everybody through it. All right. The point is that when that flight got delayed, we knew we weren't going to make that connection in Phoenix.
Yes.
So why am I going to jump on that plane if I have absolutely no reason to be in Phoenix?
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to make a flight
We
there.
weren't going to make it.
That's when we got on the phones.
Yes.
But by then, it was like, man,
it was late.
8, 9? No, it was like 10.
Yeah, it was late.
And
we start calling.
Oof.
And of course, everyone's calling, trying to get through. But for some reason, it was so weird. Everybody that tried to call, Nas tried to call on our behalf, Aja, everybody's trying to call. And they're like, it says a 3-hour wait time. Like, they'll call me back in 3 hours or whatever. I kept getting straight through. Every time I called with my phone number, it was like a straight shot to somebody on the line. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
What was that
It was just
about?
like, call.
I like the VIP line.
And then we get on the phone with somebody. We tell them that we're not going to make that Phoenix connection. And they're like, okay, we're going to reschedule your flight again.
Yeah.
So they reschedule my flight again. And now they're like, okay, you'll get there on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was like, on Saturday?
Yeah.
Like, that is not what I paid for.
So they rescheduled Omar's to where he would take a red eye Friday night and land Saturday morning.
I would take a red eye to Dallas.
To Dallas.
Like, you're putting me so far
Yes.
away from Baja, California.
Yes. And then mine was rescheduled to where it was like a 2-hour flight was now going to be over 7 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going. Like,
For real.
like
though.
I'm sorry, but like, I'm not going if I have to travel over 7 hours just to get to Cabo. Like, it is not worth it to me, kind of thing. Like, and it was just so frustrating because we were just back to back on the phones. And the other reason why we kept calling too was like, they put us on that one. And this was all, we were originally with Alaska. Then they switched us over to American. So we're dealing with American and they're providing us very limited amount of flights. So they're like, well, this is the only option you have. It was like, what do you mean this is my only option? Like,
Yeah.
either I don't go or I travel 7 hours, you know? So we had a travel agent on the phone who is on, you know, refreshing, finding other flights, because what was happening was other people were automatically getting rebooked as well. That's what they do. They don't look at it. They just send you on the next flight, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever gets what. So people like us were canceling those and being like, that's not going to work for me. So we're waiting for them to drop those seats so that we can grab them.
Mm-hmm.
This happened all night long. Just us trying to pick up new seats. Travel agent is holding the seats. Then we got to get somebody on the line, you know, at the same time. We were 3-waying with the travel agent and the person that works at the airline. And she's like, okay, I'm releasing them. And then they have to grab them because then somebody else could grab. Like, it was so stressful. Yeah. I can't even begin to tell you, to the point where like, we still hadn't figured out yours yet. That was just to redo mine. We were still trying to do yours. Mm-hmm. As Omar's taking me to the airport to drop me off, I ended up getting a 7 a.m., I think, flight out. Thank God, direct. You still had
still going on Saturday.
You were still going on Saturday. I'm on the phone on the way to the airport with the airline trying to get you on a new flight.
Yeah.
Literally at the counter, still on the phone with the airline and managed to get you a flight that was like, took off at what, noon?
At noon.
Took off at noon on Friday. And man, it was like finally, like literally down to the wire, like hours before your flight where we got you on. It was just crazy. So we literally didn't sleep. I packed God knows what at like 5 a.m, like, or whatever time it was. Like, didn't sleep at all. Didn't even wash my spray tan off in time. So my feet were like orange. Because you got to wash it off at a certain time. Kept developing. I was like, shit, my spray tan. But, you know, nonetheless, we got there. And the whole reasoning why we even went to Cabo in the first place was because for me, it was a work trip. Miguel got hired to perform at Josephine. I want to say her last name is Scriver. I'm probably totally messing that up, but she's a Victoria's Secret model. Mm-hmm. She's marrying some guy who sings in a band and is kind of like, I don't know what else he does. He's kind of well known. He seems to be very well connected because there were several celebrities there and they all were friends with him. So her too, but mostly him. And anyway, so Miguel gets hired to perform. Nas, of course, naturally is his date. She needs glam. And, you know, the nature of how we do things, she hires me and takes me along. And since my birthday was on Monday, we said, what the hell, we'll turn it into, you know, work trip / let's celebrate Nadia's birthday kind of thing. Hence why you came along.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that was the whole reasoning why we went. And we ended up staying at a hotel called Cabo Azul. And it's a really beautiful resort. And that's kind of where most of the wedding guest attendees were staying, even though they were not getting married on the resort. They were getting married at a different location. I don't remember the name of it. But it was near Flora Farms, which was a really cool place that we ended up also going to Saturday for my birthday. So Saturday was a free day where, you know, I didn't have to do any glam. That was the day we kind of celebrated my birthday. So that day consisted of us just kind of like, we got a cabana by the beach. We just laid out and chilled all day and ate and drank by the pool. And ran into two people from my teenagehood.
From my teenagehood.
Because it's not my childhood. I wasn't a child. We ran into Chris Kirkpatrick and Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Can you believe it?
It's so funny to me. We hung out with NSYNC on Saturday.
Well, this is it was crazy because when we got there on Friday, I had to take the shuttle and, you know, by myself because I arrived late, if you will. And I was like, oh, you know, this is the hotel that you're going to. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, we're not going to Cabo San Lucas. We're going to San Jose de los Cabos, which is different. So I don't know if any of you guys know that, but when you go to Cabo, there is Cabo San Lucas and San Jose del Cabo, and they're like 30 minutes away from each other, but they're different in what it is that you're going for.
Right. And everyone seems to group it all together as Cabo.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, we're going to Cabo. It's like, okay. For anybody that goes to spring break and they're down to party and all that, that's definitely Cabo San Lucas. San Jose del Cabo's it's just kind of a different vibe. Like, if you're in Cabo San Lucas, you could just walk across to a bar. Yeah. It's like bars everywhere. The beaches are, I think, nicer. You know what I mean? It's nightlife. It's like a place that's happening.
You said Cabo San Lucas?
That's Cabo San Lucas. San Jose del Cabo's got like nice hotels, but everything's a little bit more spread out.
Yeah, there's nothing walking distance.
Exactly. It's like 20 minutes to downtown walking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you got to take a car. There's nothing around. You're staying at the resort and you're not leaving. Like that's the vibe. So
that Friday night, you know, we ate there at the resort and we're like, all right, cool. Tomorrow, I was like, well, tomorrow maybe we can walk around or whatever. And that's when I was like, nah, we're staying here.
Yeah, there was nothing to do.
There's nowhere to go. And the resort was really cool. Like it looked like almost all the pools connected. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was really nice. But I'm chilling at the beach with everybody. And all of a sudden, who was it that came? Did you come over or what? And no, it's like, do you want to go? Do you want to go party with Joey Fatone? I'm like, what? I was like, you're lying. Like, are you serious? There's NSYNC is here. Naughty was gas. I was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go. Let's see what. I'm not gonna miss this.
Yeah. Well, so how it happened was that Darla was with us. Our friend Darla. She used to work with them back in the day because she worked. I'm gonna mess this up. I want to say she worked with Johnny Wright. I don't know if he worked with Jive or she was part of the label. I forget. Sorry, D. Messed it up already for you. But she was a part of that whole pop scene, boy band scene. She worked with Pink. She worked with NSYNC and Backstreet and all that kind of stuff, which is so hilarious to me because at that time that all that was happening, Nas and I were obsessed with all of those people, all of those bands. Like we loved all of those pop groups. So it was just funny that we had an obsession with them. And little did we know Darla, who became our, one of our really good friends later on in life, was up in the mix, just like living it all up and getting to know them. It's just a funny way how things, it's like 7 degrees of, what was it? Kevin Bacon?
6 degrees.
6 degrees?
It's 6.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Tomato, that kind of shit. So, yeah, so then they were attending the wedding because they were friends with the bride and groom. So, what?
I just looked up who she married, and I totally know who this is.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All this time? You never even looked him up and you knew the whole time?
No, because I knew I wasn't going to go to the wedding, so I was like, I don't
There
care.
was a chance. We actually, kind of got invited. We'll get to that.
But anyway, yeah.
So you know who he is?
Yeah.
His name's Alex. How do you know who
His name is Alex, but he goes by Bones.
Oh, okay.
Bohnes. He's like I guess you'd call it like a pop singer.
Yeah, he's a singer of a band, right?
Mm-hmm. The Cab or something like that.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But it's, I totally know who that is.
Oh, didn't know you would know. But, anyways.
I'm cooler than you give me credit.
I guess so. Darla runs into them at the pool. Mm-hmm. She's talking to them, hanging out with them. She ends up telling me that they're there. So then I go to the bathroom with her, and on our way back to you guys, we stop to say hello. Mm-hmm. And while we're there saying hello, I went to the bar to grab a drink, and, we start talking because they're in the pool at the swim up bar. And they're just getting trashed. And it was hilarious because they were just so wasted and they were saying the most wild, obscene, just dirty things to Darla and, just cracking jokes and whatever. And it was just like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I can't believe I'm witnessing this right now. I need to go get Nas and Omar. They need to come and be a part of this situation. So I get up and leave and I go over to you guys and I'm like, you guys want to come hang out with NSYNC? You want to hear them? What did I say? You want to hear them hit on Darla?
I was like, yeah, that's really what sold it for me. I was like, totally. I was like, let me go see what's going on.
Yeah, because at the time when Darla worked for them, she was really young. She was like 23. They were young, teenage. Well, they have a wide range of ages because you had Justin, who was super young, and then Chris, who was Chris is now 45 50 or something like that. So he was way older than them. So there was a big, age gap. But, nonetheless, Darla's this cute little hot blonde and they're all trying to holler at her. And so they did tell us, they were like, Darla never gave it up.
Yeah. Shouts
to you, Darla.
I was like, man. I was like, let me guess. You didn't find the little top knot braids attractive?
Oh no. They were didn't he have locks?
They're like braids.
Oh, they were braids with colors in them and shit. And then he wore the goggles for a long time on his head with the braids. What a mess.
Oh, that's so
sorry,
funny.
Chris. You were not the heartthrob of NSYNC. We all know it.
In his gold shirt with a puffer jacket
so
and a bandana and some black and blonde braids.
Doing the most. Meanwhile, he's from Florida. So yeah.
Hey man, they were totally cool to me.
Yeah, they were super cool.
They were cool guys.
But they were just no chill. They had no chill. They were wasted and they were dirty boys. That's all I'm going to say. The shit that was coming out of their mouths. I can't even repeat it.
They were wasted and not woke.
Not woke. No. Let's talk about that.
They were not woke wasted.
Yeah. they stayed in the 90s. I'm just going to say that. When it comes to their viewpoints on women and how to talk to a lady, it's still in the 90s. And we'll leave it at that. But, that was still a major highlight of our trip because it was just like, when am I ever going to be in a swim up bar in Mexico with Joey Fatone and Chris Kirkpatrick?
I was like, hey, man, tell me about your hot dog stand or whatever he's got.
What hot dog stand?
You don't know that Joey Fatone opened up a hot dog restaurant?
He did? No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, you didn't know this?
No.
Yeah, that's why. It's called Fat Ones.
You're kidding me.
I'm dead serious.
You're kidding me.
I'm dead serious.
Not Fat Ones.
You didn't know that? I think it's fucking genius.
Yeah, that is.
I think it's
See,
genius.
that just tells you he doesn't take himself serious and he leans into it. So that's cool.
Yeah, and literally it's called Fat Ones.
That's so funny. Is it still around?
Yeah, I think he's expanding.
That's so funny.
He's got hot dogs called there's the fat one, right? I'm not looking at the
It's
menu.
a restaurant or a stand?
No, it's like a walk-in, like a restaurant.
Okay.
Like the one we went to in Denver. It was
Okay, a little, just a little.
It's its own
sausage shop.
What's a hot dog shop? But anyway, he has one obviously called the fat one, and he's got one called he's got the sloppy Joey.
Sounds about right.
But he was telling me about this in the pool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
He's telling me he's got one. There's an item on the menu called the boy bander.
That's funny.
It's like 3 hot dogs. It's
all the meats.
Yeah.
It's a sausage fest in a bun.
Yeah, Fat Ones, hot dogs, and Italian ice.
That's so funny. And where are these located?
Shit, I'm not really
Does it have a
sure.
location on there?
I think he opened it in Orlando.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're big in Florida and Orlando.
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if it's still open.
Aww.
But I know
that it existed, and that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that. And it was so funny because jumping ahead, the next day when it was the wedding, I can't remember who said they walked by and they saw Joey. I think it was just Joey. I don't know if they were both there, but Joey was back at the bar drinking in the pool the day of the wedding as well. Mm-hmm. And that he almost missed the shuttle to the wedding. He was running and he was all sweating and drunk. And Nas was she was texting us from the wedding. She was like, Joey looks like he's struggling. It was so funny.
But he made it.
He made it.
That's a professional partier right there.
Yeah. And then who was it? The groom and his mom? Somebody in the bridal party danced to an NSYNC song.
Oh, that's so good.
And then they got up and started dancing together with each other. Chris and Joey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they started singing the song and dancing.
See, that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
They're jokesters. They're just complete jokesters. So, you want invite people that are going to have a good time and make you laugh, then invite Joey and Chris to your wedding.
Just don't bring your girl around them.
No, especially if she's a feminist.
The true players for real.
Yeah, keep the feminists away from NSYNC. You wouldn't believe. But yeah, so then we ended up going to dinner at a place called Flora Farms, which is a place that Nas and Darla had previously gone when they had come to Cabo. And so they knew about it and they booked a spot for my birthday dinner there. And it was probably 15 minutes away drive, you would say, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't
too far. And we get there, had no idea what to expect. but it's on this large property. Sorry, I just had we ate charcuterie for dinner and it's really messing me up right now. I can't stop burping. All that cheese.
You're getting nervous.
I guess it's like the mucus from the dairy.
Oh no. Oh no.
Anyways, we go to Flora Farms. We show up to this property, and apparently, what it is, it's an actual farm, and it's a farm. But they have a place where you can buy cottages, or I don't know, rent cottages, or if they're timeshare cottages. But there's properties that you can rent out or purchase. There is a restaurant on site. There's a bunch of shops. It's just basically looks like a little village of its own kind on this farm. And what it originated is that it was originally a restaurant, not this property, but originally Flora Farms was a restaurant where they would do farm to table. But then they decided, instead of taking the produce and all that stuff to the restaurant, we're going to take the restaurant and we're going to put it on the farm. So they switched it. And now everything is on the farm, all encompassing on the farm. It's so adorable. There's tons of greenery, little ponds, string lights. You sit outside, dining al fresco. The food was absolutely excellent because everything is fresh ingredients. They use all of their produce, and everything that's grown on the farm is made there.
Yeah. All the animals are raised there as well.
All animals are raised there. The only thing they do not provide is beef, because beef is not really sustainable. But yeah, they had pork, they had fish. What else did they have? I don't remember. I know
they have, like, chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, you just want me to name proteins?
I'm just trying to remember what we ordered. So we got an eggplant lasagna that was delicious.
Yeah, that was really good.
Really, really good. They have a brick oven pizza. They make everything fresh there. It's just so delicious.
Yeah, if you have a wood burning pizza
sold.
oven, like, I'm probably gonna order.
Absolutely.
You know,
that's the best kind of pizza.
Yeah.
It's the best. I got fresh pasta. You could taste that it was like, I'll admit, out of everyone's dishes, mine was probably my least favorite. Only because it felt a little plain, but the pasta itself, which is pappardelle, was very, you could tell they made it there. It was just like quality. It tasted good. I always feel like with fresh pasta that is made there on site, I don't know, it doesn't make me feel full or heavy. It's a different, right. I don't know if the starchy carbs are different or what happens, but yeah, everything was delicious. I think Nas got a sea bass. Miguel got pork chops, which were excellent, super tender. They had sweet potatoes that were just next level. I mean, everything was just so damn good. And the drinks were unique too. Yeah. Nas got like what was it, a carrot margarita?
Yeah.
Which was one of their signature original drinks.
It was good.
That was delicious. Yeah, it was what you wouldn't think. You're like, oh, carrot margarita, but it was really, really good. So we definitely recommend you guys check that place out if you're within that area. Again, if you're in Cabo San Lucas, it may be a little bit of a drive.
Probably not that much.
But not that much.
You know what I mean? We can't recommend it enough. It's delicious. And you can also, like she said, there's literally real estate. You could buy it, and they give you these cottages that they all have their own private like dip pools where you could just
cute.
You know what I mean? It's really cool. They do cooking classes.
Yeah, they do all kinds of things there. They do movies in the outdoor area.
We looked up, like
to see if we have a wedding there. Yeah,
and it's
still steep.
Ain't cheap.
No, was it like starting at 35,000-40,000? Starting
like that.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. So check it out if you guys are going down to Cabo. But that's another thing, before we move on, like I found Cabo like expensive. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a resort.
And I think it was because we were in the resort.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
But what about the Yerman jewelry?
Oh, I know. That was so funny.
Man. So Omar and I, the day that we were had our free beach day, we decided to go walk to the ocean to go check out the beach. And the beach there is not really any different than your LA beaches. Like the water, if you're expecting tropical waters that are clear blue, not a lot of waves, super warm, like this isn't it. Go to Cancun. So it was just kind of like, and the sand was kind of like a thicker, grainier sand. So it's not like a powdery sand. It was just, the beach was, it was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's all these people with like, whether you want to do horseback riding or buy a hat or buy jewelry or whatever, they're waiting on the outskirts of the resort, waiting for you
absolutely.
to just cross over the line so that you can go to the beach. And then they're just like trying to sell you everything, right? So you and I walk over to the beach and this guy comes up to us and he's like guilting the shit out of us. What did he say? I didn't sell anything for like 2 days, so you have to buy something from me.
Yeah.
Like it was very pushy and demanding.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because there wasn't a lot of them, thankfully.
No.
Because I've been in those kind of situations
Yeah, it was a
where
handful.
they're just like so many. So we walked over to look at the guy. Remember the guy that was giving out the horseback rides?
Yeah.
To just go and see
The saddest horses.
the saddest horses you've ever seen. Like they look tired as shit.
They were sad.
They're just like standing there falling asleep, like help.
I know.
But yeah, that guy was like, "Oh, no one's bought anything from me, so you've got to buy." I'm like, "Well, if no one's bought anything from you, you probably don't have good shit." You know.
No, then he opens his little box up and he's showing us all this stuff and he's like, "What do you say? I have David Yurman."
You were like, "Oh, really?"
Real David Yurman? Wow.
Like, yeah, look at her.
He's like, "It's real." I'm like, "Come on." It's just hundreds of dollars.
But I'm walking by, and there's this guy who's selling hats, and he's like, "Hey man, you want hats?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't want a hat." And he goes, "You want some weed?" And I was like, so I turned around, and I was like,
which we had nothing.
I was
No
like,
weed.
yeah, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" You know? So
Show me what you got.
he's like, come here. So I crouched down, and he goes, "Check out this box of cigars," and he gives me a legit box of cigars. I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "Yeah." So he goes, "I have 2," and in the second box, the one that he's holding, it's got a clear like a glass cover, so you could see the cigars. In the one that I'm holding, but the one that he's holding has what I would say maybe a quad like of weed, maybe a little bit more, but that and like some pills and some coke, and I'm just this dude is the plug here on the beach. And
God knows
and I was
what's
like,
in that
"Oh,
shit."
nice." I was like, "Well, do you have papers? Like, if I buy that, how am I supposed to smoke it?" And he goes, "No, I'll give you the pipe if you buy it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, how much you selling it for?" He's like, $140. I'm like, dollars? Like $140? That's your opening
Or
bid?
pesos.
Oh, yeah. I was like, if it's pesos, shit, I'll buy 4 of them. But are you serious? I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Cool. Well, let me see if anybody else wants to join me because that's a lot for just me." And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna be here." I'm like, "Yep. Bye." $140. Get the fuck out of here.
People probably do it too.
I mean,
I'm sure.
If you're feeding that hard for it, I'm looking at your swaggy ass weed.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that big of a fiend, even though I smoke a lot, to buy your swaggy weed for, I was like, "Sir, have you heard of Nug Club?" They bring that shit to my house.
Only the finest.
I was like, if you ever make it up to Los Angeles, just order it for yourself. We everywhere, Raby 20 at checkout. He's like, "Buy my cocaine, man." I was like, "No, okay, sorry."
Oh God, scary.
So that was a pretty fun beach experience.
Yeah. So that was kind of that was about it for that, I think, right? Because then what else? It was just a very chill trip because again, I was there for work and we were kind of like moving around their schedule of what time they needed to be ready. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday was the wedding and we had massages booked. And I actually ended up picking up another client, Kelty, actually from Lady Gang, who, Naz and I have known because from Ladies Like Us, we were affiliated with Lady Gang and Podcast One. And so Kelty and Chris, her husband, were attending the wedding as well. She wanted glam. And I was like, you know what? Work calls.
Yeah.
The massages will always be there. But, I hadn't ever glammed Kelty before. So I was like, I need to take this opportunity because you just never know. It's like, especially when you come across boss women that are constantly working and have a million things going on, you just say yes. Like you got to say yes to those clients because if they like your work, they'll rebook you again and boom, there's a new client relationship. So that day was pretty much given to work. We didn't do much. By the time we got out, we kind of like sat around in our robes and then we got out and then went to the pool and then the pool was closing. We were like, damn it. So we didn't even get that. And then the next day we flew home. The next day was my actual birthday and we flew home. Before I get to that, am I missing anything else that happened in Cabo? That was pretty much it, huh?
No, I mean, it was pretty much that, we got to hang with each other, with Miguel, Nas, Darla on the beach, like actually spend
that was
time,
fun.
You know what I mean? So that was really cool.
It was.
Just hang out. It's always fun when you're hanging out with fam.
What I was going to say earlier was that Friday they had a white party, which was like the welcome party for the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
So
I forgot about
we
that.
showed up to that. But by the time we showed up, everyone was already wasted, so
Yeah.
and we weren't really. So, it's always hard to catch up with that vibe. So they had told Nas and Miguel, like, they can come to everything, invite them to the wedding, blah, 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 blah. That's what we were told. So we're like, oh, technically we can go to this wedding, which mind you, the only reason I really wanted to go to this wedding was that rumor had it that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be there.
That's true.
And I was like, I just want to go to hang out with Leo. I already hung out with Joey and Chris. Like, I'm cool on that. I want to go meet a real star. So,
I would let you hang out with Leo.
I mean, yeah.
You're way too old for him.
Yeah. And thick and short. He likes them thin, long, and young.
He's like, you're 30. What?
Oh my God. It's like, I like a larger deficit. He's like, in age and thigh gap. Boom. Oh, Omar likes that one.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So we had heard that rumor. We hadn't seen Leo, mostly because later we find out that he's staying at a much nicer resort. Of course. He was probably staying at the One and Only or whatever, like really nice down the way or whatever. Not that ours wasn't nice, but that one's like really, really nice. So I think he came in later or whatever, just came for the wedding and bounced. So he was at the wedding. We had rumors of that. We kind of caught wind that maybe we could go, but we weren't really sure. So we sent Nas and Miguel on their way. We're like, yeah, just like, give us the heads up, like check out the scene. Like, is it cool if we show up? Like, is it cool if we're not wearing cause you had to wear a certain color. They wanted earth tones, right? There was a dress code. So it's like, is it cool if we just show up in like certain things? It's cool if we even show up at all. Like, you let us know. We never got the text. So we're like, damn it, I guess we're not going to this wedding. And then Miguel told us later too, he was telling us that I think Leo was at their table, or he was at their table or near them or something like that. And he said he was mad cool, hanging out with them, cracking jokes, whatever. Just a really nice, chill, cool guy. And he said he would look over at certain points of the wedding, and Leo would like, he said it was like that gif from the Gatsby when Leo's in a tuxedo sending a cheers across the room with that face. He said it was like a flashback to that movie. He would just like look over and he was like, damn.
Like, cheers.
Straight
man.
on the scene of the movie.
He's telling Nas, he's like, look, I'm going to make him do it again.
So that's tight. So reports back that Leo is a cool guy. We wouldn't know. Damn it. So yeah, that was our Cabo adventure. And then what was really fun was that when we landed, when we got home, Naz and Miguel were super kind to allow our friends to come over to their house, their new pad, because they have a pool. And we had a little gathering, little pool party, little night swim, heated up the pool, ordered some really good food from one of my favorites, our favorites, the Green Olive. Man, you guys got to check that spot out. I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we have.
We love that place.
It bears talking about.
Yeah.
Again, it's really good.
Their catering is especially, I feel like, really good. It's good for, I think we had 20 of us maybe.
Yeah.
So we got, a thing of chicken, a thing of beef, thing of rice, salad, but their potatoes and their green sauce are next level. Like, that's where it's at. They make this their own special hot sauce, but it's like this creamy, spicy green sauce, and they put it over the potatoes, and they're like lemony potatoes. Oh my God, they're so good. Highly recommend Green Olive once again. So yeah, so that was fun. We got everyone together, hung out, swam. We swum.
We swum around. We were swimming.
We were swimming. And yeah, that was my birthday. She is 1 year older.
Man. You're like, man.
1 year closer to 40. Lord help me. It's coming quick.
Do you remember when we were flying back? We were sitting separate, obviously, right? Not in the same row. And Nadi lets me know.
I was in business and you were in steerage.
Yeah, I was underneath the plane.
You were in the backpack.
It was just me and a bunch of cats. And she goes, "Hey, there's no one sitting. Did you you text me right as we were taking off?
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's no one in the seat. We can finally sit together." I was like, "Okay." So I go to the front and I ask the flight attendant. I was like, "Hey, look, it's her birthday. There's no one sitting there. Do you mind if I?" And he goes, "Oh no, I can't let you do that." And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Because it's it was like you were in a premium row of some kind."
Yeah, it was like the extra space.
And I was like,
the first few rows.
I was like, and you want me to pay extra to sit there? And he's like, "Well, I just can't let you sit there." I was like, "We're already in the air, man.
No one's gonna know, man."
I wanted to sit there and argue, but I didn't want to end up on Instagram or something like, "Oh, guy gets mad at seat change. I want that seat." I was just like, "We're in the all right, whatever, man." I was like, "Sorry."
Yeah,
but that was so ridiculous. But did you watch anything before we close out?
Well, the flight there, I was so exhausted that I slept the whole time. Just knocked the F out. Slept the whole way. Same thing kind of coming home. I slept a little bit. And then I woke up and kind of didn't really see anything I liked or just didn't feel like searching. It was just kind of ugh, I don't want to go through all of this. And I'm not seeing anything. So I saw Parks and Rec, threw that on. It's been a minute. I know it's going to make me laugh. I know it's going to make me feel good.
Yeah.
It's like one of my feel good shows, So threw that on and laughed for the last, 30 minutes or hour or whatever. That was it. Nothing crazy. You?
On the way to Cabo, my seat didn't have a
TV?
A TV.
What?
Nah. It was like,
ooh, the ghetto child.
It was
ghetto.
What they had What they had instead was this little latch thing where you could put your phone. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting.
And I'm sure you could jump on their Wi-Fi or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't know if you've ever used this, but like Amazon Prime, Netflix, I'm not sure which other ones do, but those two for sure, they allow you to download movies or shows or whatever, as long as you have the subscription.
The app, yeah.
So I had done that. So for a while ago, I downloaded this movie called Yardie. And it's a movie, the directorial debut by Idris Elba. So it's an Idris Elba movie set in Jamaica and also in London. I want to say that's where it ends up. But it's a cool little story about a kid who kind of gets involved with like a gang and then tries to escape by going to London. And I mean, it's kind of like one of those kind of getting out of the game, but you have to do a little bit of dirt to get out and stuff like that. But it was really good.
Idris is in it as well?
Nope, he just directed it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
So if anybody has Amazon and you want something that it's pretty good, and you like to hear that English accent when they're like, yeah, bruv, nah, bruv.
But it's not Idris's English accent.
Well, it's just not
his
his voice.
is the best.
Well, that's because
we started
watching Luther.
Yeah.
And the way he says Alice, always Alice.
Alice. It's so good.
That's it. Is he here?
Alice. No, that's not it.
That's not it at all. Neither was mine.
I know.
But yours was. It looks like we're in the scary part of Wonderland. And you're like, Alice.
I don't know. No one can copy his accent because his voice is just, it's like sandalwood. It's just so, it's so good. It's like warm woods. And leather.
You're like naming candles
with cigarette pipes.
Cigarette pipes?
Smoking pipes, I mean. This is so good. It's so good. I'm getting hot. What else did we watch? Do we got time to talk about anything else? Or did Cabo eat our whole episode up?
I think it ate most of it up, but what else did you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, there's a few things that we did, right? Like you went, you want to talk about going to see Journey and Toto with your dad, or save that for next week? I feel like there wasn't much to it.
There's not much to it, but Journey came to the Staples Center, or now the Crypto.com Center, or whatever, out here in Los Angeles. And I was able to get tickets from work. A guy at work was like, hey, man, you can have them. And I was like, okay, cool. So I took my dad to see Journey because he was like totally gassed about it. He's been telling me about it for like months. Like, don't forget, Journey's going to be here. And I was like, so we got these tickets. And I don't have anything against Journey. It's just not something that I was like, wanting to go see.
Sure.
So we go, and Toto's opening for them. So you're like, all right, like I get to hear that, Africa song.
The only song that I know from Toto.
But they also have another song called Rosanna.
Oh, that's Toto?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Rosanna. Rosanna.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right,
that's the whole song.
Yeah, and you know what? They fucking rocked, yo. Like,
yeah, I remember you were texting me saying like they're putting on a hell of a show.
Yeah, and then Journey comes out, and Journey, you got Don't Stop Believing. You got what's the other one? That Wheel in the Sky. You got just a bunch, and
songs that you forget that you're like, oh yeah, I fuck with this song.
Yeah, you're just like they got hits. You know what I mean? They're still playing because they've made hits, whether they're recent or not. It's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And it was just technically like, and I'm talking about technique wise, because obviously they're all great. It was just amazing. Any show that I go to, like I kind of really pay attention, and I like to, not that I like to, I always seem to notice if something falls off beat or whatever. You know what I mean?
Your ear is ready to pick it up.
Like, yeah, my ear's ready.
You're waiting.
I'm a total Los Angeles, like, a crowd member.
Yeah, like
waiting for them to fuck up. So I can be like, they're not that great.
Total pessimist. What a cynic.
They were so good. They were so good. And here's the funny thing.
And your dad had a blast.
My dad had a fucking blast. But, so I don't know if you know this, but the singer from Journey, he quit.
You were telling me.
And he was replaced by this guy from Manila, like this Filipino dude. Excellent. Sounds as close as you would want him to sound like the original guy.
Pulls it off.
Pulls it off. It's like I said, it's kind of like that Mark Wahlberg movie Rockstar, where they're like, "Oh, you're in a cover band of our band. Well, our singer left. Now it's your turn." You know,
or like how Adam Lambert picked up on what was it, Queen? Yeah,
kind of like that.
I mean, he doesn't sound exactly the same, but he puts on a good show.
Yeah, he's putting on a show. This guy got the job because he sounds like him.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But it's so funny because he's younger, like, and he's flashier. So there's like,
I love this little young Filipino, flashy Filipino, singing in front of all these old, washed up white dudes. This is great.
So they're just like jamming, you know, there's like an old guy on the bass and an older guy on the guitar, and you know, the drummer's still kind of, he's got the sleeveless like denim vest, and, you know, with the goatee shit, like totally like, I'm a rock drummer, but you're old, you know what I mean? And he comes out and he's wearing this like really like a black and white checkerboard like pattern suit. You know what I mean? With some shiny ass sneakers, like the reflective like tennis shoes. And he's like rocking out. It just made me laugh. I was like, all right, cool. This was clearly the front man right now. You know? And my
living out his dream.
And my dad's like, man, he does sound like, my dad is blown away, right? Like, this is his jam from like back in the day.
Your dad loves classic rock.
And he's like, man, he sounds good. And I'm like, yeah, Pops, whatever. The dude takes off his jacket and he's wearing a Givenchy shirt.
Oh, Givenchy.
Like black and gold with like a big G on one shoulder and a big, you know, V on the other one. And I'm like, damn, this shit keeps getting flashier and flashier. And my dad, he bumps me, and I'm like, what's up? He's like, that's a cool shirt. I was like, son, I can't help you.
Dad.
I was like, I can't help you with that.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Like if he's like, yo, I want one of these Journey tour shirts, I'd be like, yeah, I got you, Dad. Like, don't worry about it, whatever. But he pointed to the fucking most expensive shirt on the fucking stage. I was like, nah.
Which is funny coming from your dad, who doesn't give a shit about fashion or clothes.
The amount of times my mom has sent him back in the house, like, no.
You can't wear that.
Put something else on. It's like, why? That'd be my dad. He's like, like,
yeah. Your dad's just like a hippie dude. Like, he's just like, let me just make cool shit in the backyard, and I'm happy with my long ponytail and my chanclas, and that's all I need.
Man.
And he likes the Givenchy flashy shirt.
Just like that.
That's hilarious. Aw, I'm glad you guys went. That's cool.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to take your parents to something that they really used to rock out to.
Yeah. It's a fun experience.
It's a fun experience. Because you could be like, all right, cool, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get my mom into a Gloria Estefan situation because she was a diehard Estefan fan back in the day. And like just growing up, like she had her cassette and would play it over and over and over again to like, I know that whole Cuts Both Ways album like the back of my hand. Like I love that album because of my mom, you know?
Right.
So it's like if I can get her into one of those situations to go see her, meet her, whatever, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, I've got to take. I've been able to send my mom to a lot of cool stuff. But I don't want to be there at all. I just.
You don't want to be around
like,
it.
Nah, she's like, oh my god, some banda like is gonna come like a you go, ma, take whoever you want. Like, but I can't go. Can't listen to a whole like 4 groups of like norteño music. Like, sorry to to all the people in Texas, but no.
It's not your thing.
But I can't.
Well, that was pretty much the gist of everything that we've kind of been. There's a few things we didn't get to. We'll get to that next week. Omar went to Vegas. I celebrated some birthdays. We'll get to that next week. As far as watching shows, if you guys want to check out Fresh, Omar has not seen that. I ended up catching that last night. It was insane. I knew nothing about it. I'm going to make him watch it as soon as we're done watching this. Recording this episode, and we can talk about it next week. So if you guys want to check out Fresh, it's on Hulu. It's a thriller movie. I don't want to give you any details because you just got to see it. It's twisted and sick and weird and cool.
Yeah, and that stars Sebastian Stan, who played Tommy Lee in the Pam and Tommy. He's also the Winter Soldier, and what's her name, Daisy Edgar Jones, who I can't remember what she did before, but I've heard nothing but good things. So now that I know it's good, I'll give it a shot. So a couple weeks back, I had put up on my Instagram a little what should I watch kind of thing. Send me your suggestions. And my friend Netta said, you should watch Fresh. I said, oh, what is that? The Fresh Prince spinoff? I thought it was Bel Air, right?
But I didn't realize that was the name of it. So she's like, no. I'm like, well, what is it about? And she's like, I can't tell you, just watch it. I like to tell my friends to just watch it, and I tell them nothing about it. And then they come and report back to me, and they're like, what the fuck did I just watch? So she's like, watch it. It's interesting. I will say that it has somewhat to do with modern day dating. There's part of that in there. It kind of begins with dating, right? What it's like to date now. And then it just gets interesting after that. So, if you're looking for something that you know nothing about and want to check it out. Let us know what you think. We'll talk about it next week. Anything else?
There's tons of stuff that I could say that people should check out, but, it's something that I don't think we'll really talk about, but I think people should watch is if you can find this documentary, it's called Closed for Storm. And it's the story of a theme park in Louisiana.
Oh, that's right.
That closed because they were about to get a storm, which ended up being, hurricane.
It was Six Flags.
Yeah, it was a Six Flags.
Yeah.
But it was Hurricane Katrina. So that's where the documentary focuses on. But it's called Closed for Storm because that's what they put on their sign.
Yeah, and it's still there. Or at least at the time that they made the documentary. Yeah.
But the park never reopened.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So it's a really interesting watch. And if you guys get a chance to find that, I want to say it was on Netflix, but look that up.
We watched that one kind of a while ago. I forgot about that.
That's why I'm
You're like, let me plug that one real quick.
People to watch it because that one, I'm like, watch it and you'll like it, I swear.
All right, guys, that concludes our episode. Thank you guys for being patient with us and waiting a week. I know we're a little late. We just had so much going on. Yeah. Oh, should I? Never mind. I'm going to announce that next week.
All right. More announcements coming next week. As always, please make sure to send us any suggestions or any comments or anything you guys want to hear us talk about. Or maybe if there's something you guys think that only one of us would like, and then we could have an argument.
Yes. As per our friend Dustin,
Japanese news correspondent Dustin would like us to disagree on something for once.
He's tired of us watching the same things that we enjoy together. He would like to hear a little conflict and confrontation. So
if there's anything that you and the person you're with can't agree on and you'd like us to see,
let us know.
Have arguments or we'll tell you why each one of you is right. Let us know. Thanks so much for listening. As always, please continue to listen and tell your friends to listen and give us
like and
some
subscribe.
Reviews. And
really send us more reviews, please.
We enjoy doing it. Although, of course, anytime we go on a trip, we don't do anything for a week. We're just recouping.
They're like, oh, they went on a trip. We're not going to get an episode for another couple weeks.
If they ever go on a honeymoon, they're just going to cancel the show.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Bye.
We everywhere, baby.